the red light 1.
Welcome, everybody, to the show. And we're glad you took the time out to be with us this evening. Beautiful people, beautiful souls, no beautiful souls. Beautiful souls, no beautiful souls. Glad you're here with us tonight. And I always talk about mantras all the time. And I think I got this one from Daryl Anka. That he channels Bashar. Bashar is Bashar wisdom. And he says, as you wake up in the morning and as you sleep, say this as you wake up in the morning. I am who I am, and that's enough. I am who I am, and that's enough. I am who I am, and that's enough. Say it 3 times. Then see that what synchronicity will bring you with the willingness to let go of all the restrictions, all limitations, all assumptions, and all insistences that in your unconscious, subconscious, and conscious mind don't actually serve you or don't align with the vibration of your true ethereal spirit core, spiritual core. Then reality will unfold as it needs to serve you best. Welcome to the show. I'm here with Miss Stephanie Beard, and she's going to be doing In the Streets. She knows the hottest topics that's out there, that's happening. It's a very important segment of our show. We talk about things that are happening right now, real time. So without further ado, we're going to start by having Miss Stephanie Beard do her thing in the streets. So take it away, Stephanie.
Okay. Knowing I should have been already ready. Yo, what's up, you guys? What's up, fam? It's your girl, Stephanie Beard. Some of you guys might know me as your Laker girl. And you already know what time it is. It's the SIMMIE Braxton show with In the Street segment. I'm bringing you the real, the raw, the headlines, the heat, and everything the culture is talking about. From the court to the corner, from Hollywood to the hood. If it's trending, I'm tracking it. So buckle up, because we're hitting the pavement and getting into what's popping and in the streets with your girl, Laker Girl.
That's right.
All right, y'all. So you know that we have been covering the Diddy trial, and it's over. He's been convicted of the 2 lesser charges. He is up to be sentenced on October 3rd.
Wow.
He's facing up to 10 to 20 years. People are saying he's going to be released in October. He may get off. But as of right now, Diddy has began domestic violence rehabilitation and therapy. And I don't think it's going to work, but kudos to him trying to supposedly bettering himself. I don't believe he will. He's been beating on women since he was young, like in his early 20s. He has that history. But nevertheless, people are hoping that he is actually going to take heed and humble himself and try to rehab himself and don't be as violent as he was. Again, in my opinion, I don't believe that he's doing it genuinely. And I hope that the judge gives him 10 to 20 years. I do hope that's what happens. And we'll see. People are saying there's no way. He has no priors. But the judge is the last person who can make the decision, no matter what, because he has up to 10 years for each charge he was convicted on. And if the judge feels like he wants to give Diddy 10 years each for each case or each charge, then so be it. Okay? Because it happens. It's up to the judge. So we shall see October 3rd. Diddy believes that he's doing this rehabilitation, that it then will show that he has time served. He will only give him a year. And that can happen. I'm not saying that cannot happen, but in my opinion, Diddy needs to be in jail for over 20 years or more. But 20 years is all he can give him, 10 and 10. He can't give him no more than that. So we'll see what happens. All
Well,
right, we're
Miss
going to get off
Stephanie,
of the Diddy situation. What do
you
you
know
think?
that Diddy, from what I understand, is going through drug counseling, and I guess it's domestic violence counseling. He's going to counseling as we speak.
Yes, that's
And
what he
so
did.
when he goes back to court, he's going to have that under his belt, and they're going to be saying that he's done something to try to improve his life. Do you think that's going to help him?
I mean, it could. I don't know. I can't. I'm not the judge. However, I do know the judge is aware that Diddy is violent. He's a violent man. And although the charges he received is for transporting a prostitute across state lines, is not major to some people. But that's what he's been convicted of, and he can get up to 10 years. So it's up to the judge. If the judge says, hey, time served, you did the rehabilitation, you're out on October 3rd, that could happen. But there's also a chance he can get 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 20 years in jail. So we shall see on October 3rd.
It's up to the judge. I don't know. I don't know about that case. I don't know if they're gonna, let him off. But he gets at least 5, right?
I don't know. It could be time served. He could get out
Might
on
not.
October 3rd.
Yeah, because
it could be time served. They could give him a year, and he's already done a year as of September or October. He was arrested and put in jail, so that would be an entire year. So the judge could come back and say, hey, you done a year, time served, you can go home, and you will be on probation or parole, whatever it may be. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping he gets up to 20 years. He deserves every bit of 20 years.
I think, really, I think Diddy, he still got some friends in some high places.
Oh, most definitely. That I believe.
You know what I mean? I think he had, people are talking about nobody came to visit him. None of his friends. Where was all his friends? I saw that on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he still got some pull. Because if he didn't have any pull, right, we would know who was on those tapes.
Exactly. He could, just like with the next story we're going to go into regarding deep state and Trump in the Epstein files, because it's all who you know, Simmy, and it's all about the money. Right. That's why some people, as Diddy, are able to get off. Look at Weinstein. They just had a case against Weinstein reversed in New York. So a rape charge, sexual assault, was reversed in New York on Weinstein. So now he doesn't have that case. So now his lawyers believe that they could come to Los Angeles and have it overturned. And he could walk free when he clearly sexually assault these women and rape these women. So it's crazy because now we as women are not protected. Men could come and rape us who have money, who are billionaires, and can get away with raping women.
Yeah. It's a shame, too, that the system is designed the way it's designed because
totally agree.
Quite frankly, there are a lot of people that'll do anything for money. Anything for money.
They will. And that just segue into the Epstein files. I sent you a text on your phone with the Trump Epstein file. Yeah, the controversy. And right now, they said, the Epstein files do exist. But there is not a list, an actual list, but there are files with a lot of high power billionaires, celebrities, people in those files. And we all know that Epstein was having young women, underage women, prostituting them and for these high-end politician, billionaires, and celebrities who were taking advantage of these young ladies. And that's why they say Epstein had committed suicide. I don't believe it. I think he's off on an island somewhere living his best life. Because, Simmy, there's a videotape out there that has been modified. There's a whole minute of the videotape of his cell, of the jail cell, where he supposedly had committed suicide.
Right.
So no one can account for this minute. So that's been modified. Now the Epstein files, you know that Chump, aka Trump, on his campaign trail, he promised he was going to release Epstein's list of people who are pedophiles. He said he would do this. This is how he ran his campaign, and his following, the MAGA, they're upset now because now he doesn't want to release the files, aka the list of celebrities, the billionaires, and all these high-powered people who were messing with young little girls. They're pedophiles. So now it's a whole big thing with this Epstein files, and the Democrats are not going to let it go, which they shouldn't. They should keep trying to make sure, because now Trump is running away from it because he could be implicated in these files. And so they're saying that Trump has been friends with Epstein for over a decade. So if you hang around a pedophile, you're going to be a pedophile. Are you going to hang around a pedophile? If you found out one of your friends was messing around with little young girls, are you going to continue to hang out with that person, Simmy? No, you wouldn't. You are not going to do that. You're not going to hang out with a rapist. You're not going to hang out with people who like young little girls, 13, 14-year-old girls. You're not going to do that.
You know what? I don't even think Epstein is dead.
I know. That's what I said.
Yeah. I don't think he's dead. I don't think he's dead. I think he's gone somewhere and disappeared.
Exactly. And then his
never ever show his face again.
Right. And his right-hand person who is in jail, Ghislaine Maxwell, I believe that's her name, Ghislaine Maxwell, she's in jail for his charge for being she was in cahoots with him. She was his right hand accomplice. It's accomplice. And she is in jail, but she is willing to come and testify and talk about the celebrities, the billionaires, and all of the high-powered people who participated in these sexual assaults with these young girls. But the deep state, what we want to get into, the deep state, do a lot of people in here, do you guys know who the deep state is? The deep state is, let's break that down, Simmy. Because I don't think a lot of people know who or what is the deep state.
No, they don't.
So the deep state is a term that's used often by political commentators or conspiracy theorists to describe a shadowy, unselected group of bureaucrats, intelligent officials, or military leaders who allegedly operate behind the scenes to control or manipulate government policy, regardless of who's in power publicly. However, it's not a proven institution. It's more of a belief that a hidden network of elitists inside agencies like the CIA, FBI, or the DOJ, Department of Justice, protect their own interests by steering political and judicial outcomes from the background, often shielding powerful figures. Have you ever, Simmy, watched the series Scandal? Have you ever watched that with Olivia Pope, Scandal? Have you ever watched that series back in the day?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God. This is the perfect example of what is going on. Yes.
You know, Farrakhan was on Instagram and he said it.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that before.
I did.
But he said there are people that are running this country that are behind the scenes that are literally running this country. And I believe that. I just believe that.
Believe it. I
I
definitely
believe that. Because
billionaires.
ain't no way in the world that those tapes aren't supposed to be revealed. Because on that Rolodex, he had a lot of powerful people's names. A lot of powerful people went to that island where those little girls were.
Yes. Yes. And not
But
only
they
that,
went to the island because they could hide over there.
yes, they
And there
can.
wasn't no police over there. Nobody knew, what was going on over there except them.
And they said
And
that.
so why would they not bring up, just like they didn't bring up the tapes with the Diddy case? That never was brought up.
Exactly.
They never brought up the tapes with the Epstein case. That never was brought up.
It's all
Why
about
wouldn't you bring
money.
that up?
It's all about that.
And especially with the president. If Trump was that close to a guy that was a pedophile, I would want to know. If he hang out with you was hanging out with that guy, I want to know how close he is to that guy.
They have pictures
because they were friends.
Right, they were good friends. They have Chump and Epstein together. There's a person who said that Epstein used the tapes to blackmail everyone. So one, if he didn't commit suicide, they either told him killed him, exactly. They either murdered him allegedly, or they allow him to leave and live his best life under another name.
Under another name and another identity.
He's got a whole new face, probably. We probably don't know that, because they can do that in the CIA and the FBI and the DOJ, who are the deep state. So they could do that because a lot of them are in these files. However, Simmy, a lot of people are not going to stop asking Trump to get these files released. People are going hard. They want to know. Even his own following, the MAGA, they're pissed because this is what he said. I'm going to release those files. That was based on him getting elected. He said he would do this. Now his own party is saying, we want you to release these files. Otherwise, you could go on TikTok. You could go on Instagram. You could go on YouTube. You see his own MAGA are burning flags, are saying they don't like Trump anymore. They're going against him. So if they continue, Simmy, to talk about it, eventually I hope that those files get released and people's names are revealed, because we need to know who these pedos is, and they need to be in jail. They like little girls. They're playing with 10, 12-year-old little girls, 13, 14-year-old little girls. That's sick. And if Trump did this with little young girls, he's our president. He is the president of the United States. He should not be that. And he's a pedophile, along with these other people who are pedophiles. If you're putting R. Kelly in jail, you're putting other people in jail and they're pedophiles. Why aren't you putting...
Bill Clinton took a trip over there.
Yes. Yes.
And there was clearly a lot of powerful people that went over to that island. Just like there was a lot of powerful people that went over to Diddy's house.
Yes.
And did things.
Freak offs, baby oil.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that if it doesn't come out with the Diddy case, because they're not bringing it up, I have a feeling that there's just some people that are in power that it's never gonna come up. They got what they wanted. I think they slapped him on his wrist. You know what I'm saying? Diddy. I'm talking about Diddy. Diddy did something, and they slapped him on his wrist and like, no, don't do that. Because he was one of them.
Oh, what is being said right now that him and Kanye are planning a tour. They are planning a tour to go out and do new music together. And don't get me wrong, I like Kanye, but Kanye needs to be on medication, or he needs some type of therapy, because he's not in his right mind. I like his music. But Kanye is an attention seeker as well. He has to be has to be the center of attention. And Diddy does too. We know that Diddy is a sociopath. That's exactly, if you go look up sociopath and you go look at
A narcissistic sociopath.
right. If you go look at the documentary called The Fall of Diddy, come back here and tell me if you don't believe that this man belongs in jail for over 20 years, because he does. He's a sociopath. He doesn't care about anyone. It's all about him, and he'll do anything, everything to be the center of attention and to be ahead of anything. He likes to break people down. That's why when he have, with the Kid Cudi situation, he blew up the man's car. Then he met with him. When he met with him, he offered him water 3 times, and Kid Cudi declined. You know why? Because Kid Cudi know that something was in that water. And if he would have drank it, guess what Diddy would have done? Diddy would have raped him, because Diddy needs to be that powerful over that man. I'm above you. So that's his thinking. And if you go watch The Fall of Diddy, you will know what I'm talking about.
The sad part about it is that once you come into power, right, they gave him a lot of power. He was like them. He became them. Because they're not going to let you have that much power if you're not one of them. You're not. You're not going to have that much power if you're not one of them. And it's a diabolical, evil, cutthroat, malicious business that doesn't care about the artist at all. At all.
They use the artist. Not even Biggie. He didn't give his mom his publishing. He kept everything. To me, he's evil. He's an evil person. But his karma will catch up with him eventually. That's what I think. Wow. Now, I know you wanted to. Let me see what time it is. Okay.
You got time.
I got 4 minutes. I know you wanted to talk about the RG3 and Angel Reese story. I sent you a text on that too.
Okay.
So here's the full breakdown of what RG3, and if you guys don't know who RG3 is, he is a football player. He used to play for San Francisco. Let me see, what's his real name? Sherman Richard?
And Washington.
Yeah, Washington. What's his real name? Richard something, right?
Robert Griffin.
Robert Griffin, that's right. Robert Griffin. So, yeah, you're right. Robert Griffin III. So this is the breakdown. This is what he said about Angel Reese and the fallout that happened behind it. So on his podcast and on X, RG3 shared a screenshot of a racist meme depicting Angel Reese as a monkey, condemning the post for its overt racism.
Wow.
He then claimed someone from Angel Reese inner circle told him that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, which we all know they're friends. She don't hate her. She is friends with her. And said that she was basing this, and he was basing this on hearsay rather than direct evidence. So he had no evidence that she hates Caitlin Clark, because she doesn't. So then Angel Reese then responded, and she posted on X, and lying on this app when everybody know the first and last name of everybody in my circle for clout is nasty work. That was her response to RG3. And then Angel Reese's mother, who used to be a basketball player, she said her mother also dismissed the claim, stating that no one in her tight-knit circle made such a statement, that she hates Caitlin, right? So then after the aftermath, everything went viral, and then Shaq stepped in, because the Angel Reese is, Shaq has a deal with Reebok, and Angel Reese is a spokesperson for Reebok under Shaq. Okay. Right. So Shaq then tweeted and warned RG3 and he said, tweet another monkey post about my girl Angel Reese, and I'm going to punch you in your effing face. Okay, and Shaq don't play. Shaq over he has done threats over live TV. He doesn't care. And then Ryan Clark, who is the former NFL and ESPN analyst, sharply criticized RG3, accusing him of mischaracterizing Angel Reese and lacking understanding of Black women experiences. He
Uh-huh.
called RG3's behavior a strange fascination and said he lacks the live experience to speak on these issues. So RG3, he initially defended Angel Reese by condemning the racist image, but then overcorrected and amplified rumors about her feelings toward Caitlyn. And then Reese Camp then came back and did,
Uh-huh.
dispersed everything. And the bottom line is, what started as a condemning of racism, it turned into a major media and social media conflict.
Yeah.
So, but RG3, he basically came out there and just said she doesn't like Caitlyn Clark. No, she is. They even Caitlyn said we're friends, but when we're on the court, just like any other NBA or WNBA player, we're not. We're trying to win a game. So what are you talking about? But anyway,
Yeah.
not all.
I
I love our Black men, but some Black men, they just be in their feelings too much. And RG3 is married to a white woman too, so it is what it is. So, and that is
yeah.
it, y'all. That's your girl
Yeah.
Stephanie here in the streets on the Simi Braxton Show.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Yeah. RG. I know. I didn't know what it was, Stephanie. I knew it was something because I was running across it on IG, and he was just. I mean, I never saw Shaq like that. The way he was talking, he took his glasses off and he said, "I'm gonna punch you in your face." And I'm like, "Wow," you know. And I just didn't know what it was that happened, but I knew it was something that RG3 had said. So, you know, I wonder how that's going to pan out. I wonder if RG3 is going to apologize for what he said or try to, you know, explain himself because he won't never want to go out, and run into Shaq anywhere.
I want
You
him
know,
to run into Shaq. I want him to run into Shaq because Shaq
yeah,
on checking. Shaq on checking.
that's good.
And he has a podcast, RG3. Now that I know I remember who he is. He has a podcast, him and his wife. They have a podcast together. And they do a lot of interviews on there with different people. I've seen them do, interview Steph
You're talking
Curry.
about RG3,
Yeah, RG3.
him and his wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So him calling Angel Reese a monkey is disrespectful, and you got a white woman next to you is real disrespectful. So I don't like that.
We're gonna have to talk about that sometime, though.
Yes.
In the street segment, we don't have enough time, but I want to talk about why some of these athletes date outside their race. And I'm like this. You love who you love. You love who you
Exactly.
love.
That's right.
I have no problem with that.
Me either.
But it just I'm just wondering, you know, how that happens so often. And we'll have to talk about that sometime.
Yeah, we will. And then they get real quick, and then they get mad about the Mann Act, which Diddy was convicted of the Mann Act, and the Mann Act was initially established because Black men dating white women and bringing them over to wherever they were at. That's how that law was established. It was more of a racist law. But now it has evolved. We're in 2025. It was established back in the 1800s or the early late 1800s. But it is a racist law. However, it has evolved. It has changed. But that's where it initially started. So Black men who are dating white women at that time in the 1800s had to be very careful because they can go to jail based off of that law.
Mm-hmm.
So. But that's
Hold on
it
one
for
second.
industry, Simmy. Go ahead and take it away. Thank you for having me here as
Okay,
always.
thank you. Thank you so much. That was good, Stephanie.
Thank
I
you.
gotta watch a couple of things over here. We're not gonna hold everybody too long. We're gonna get right into it. Let me see if I can. Uh, and we're gonna talk about living without fear. Living without fear. I talked about this a while back, but you know, living without fear is a powerful way of being. It's a very powerful way of living your life, and it gives you a certain amount of freedom because you have no fear. And living without fear from a spiritual perspective is an invitation to embrace a profound trust in a higher power or an the inherent goodness of life and the external nature of the soul. It is a state of liberation, freedom, like I said, that transcends the limitations of our physical circumstances and anchors us in a deeper reality where peace, love, and faith reign supreme. Here's what it means in detail: trusting a higher power. Now, I know a lot of people, they say the word God. Some people say the word universe. Some people say your higher mind or your higher self. Some people say the Holy Spirit. Use whatever term that you deem that resonates with you. Use whatever term it is. But the belief in a source that is outside of yourself, that's not the way to do it. The source is inside of you. You have the source. I know this is hard for some people to grasp onto, but the source is in you. The power is in you. See, this trust you have to have assures that we're not alone. You're never alone. And everything that happens in life has a purpose. I was talking about that earlier with Stephanie and Mr. Cole. Everything in life has a purpose. Even if we can't immediately understand it, even if it doesn't actually, you know, if it's something that we don't necessarily prefer. Everything happens with a purpose. Watch this. With a purpose to serve us for our good. For our good. It's supposed to be something that we get out of it that's positive, that works in our favor. It's just the definitions that we put to the event or the circumstances that come about in our life. Are they limited, beliefs? Are they fear-based beliefs? And then what it is we have to change the definition of these beliefs. So basically, you have to, if you can't immediately understand it, it means believing that the power that you have that is bestowed upon you is benevolent. And it works for our ultimate good. All things work for our ultimate good. No matter what it is, it works for our ultimate good. No matter what you're going through, it works for our ultimate good. This trust dissolves fear when you trust in this power, this endowment, this Holy Spirit, this higher self, this universe. When you put your trust in your higher self to guide you, to lead you, it brings, a certain resolve. You're more confident in the path that you're taking, and basically you're letting go of control. I know that sounds, you have control, but you let go of the outcome of circumstances, of situations. Fear often, uh, fear often arises from the need to control the outcome. Don't worry about the outcome. Just know that it's going to work in your favor. I know that's an oxymoron for some people and it sounds crazy, but when as you learn to trust your intuition, because this is something that is your higher self, your intuition. We don't trust our intuition. We were born with it to lead us, to guide us. It's wisdom to make decisions in the most difficult circumstances. It's a small, still voice that you know. It's a knowing that you have that it's the right decision to make. And so, you know, you don't have to worry about being in control of the circumstance or the situation. From a spiritual perspective, living without fear means surrendering the illusion of control and acknowledging that some things are beyond our power. Basically, that's true. Some things are beyond our power at that moment. And by aligning with the divine will and accepting life's unpredictability, we free ourselves from the anxiety of the unknown. Just allow yourself to trust in that power. Trust in that higher self, that Holy Spirit. Trust in that universe. Trust in the universe. Trust in God. If that sounds easier for you to absorb, trust in that power and allow everything to work itself out, and it will. Surrender is not a passive thing. It's not, but it's active. It's a choice to release every worry instead. So you focus on our actions and attitudes with faith that the divine path is perfectly set up for us. Everything that's happening right now in your life is designed for you to go through what it is that you need to go through. Everything. Because it's for the expansion of your soul. You came here to this planet to learn, to get to know who you truly are, to remember who you are, because you forgot who you were. Before you came on this, there was a process, and it's all for the expansion of your soul, to become who you truly are, to remember where your origin is. You emanate from the source that only knows abundance. You emanate from the source of all that is. You are part of the greater whole. You cannot be ever separated from that love that intended you to be here. You can never be separated from it. That love that spoke this universe into existence. You will never be separated from it. And it's all in love. It's all about love. That's why whenever something happens in your life, don't say, why me? Say, why not me? And allow yourself to muster up the courage. The courage. And it doesn't mean that you're not. Courage just allows you to move in the face of your fears, in the face of the unknown. It just allows you to move through the unknown, the uncertain things. But learn to move through uncertainty, knowing that at the end of that uncertainty, that at the end of that path, that's where you become more of who you are. And that's where you become more expansive at your soul level. So allow, and that's where faith comes in. You moving through the discomfort because of the faith that you have. And the faith is not, you got to know that you know that you know that you're going to be all right. You got to. You got to know that you know. and just move through it and be thankful for the experience. Literally be thankful for the experience. Show gratitude for the experience. Know that whatever you're going through is for your good. It's an opportunity for growth and refinement. It's an opportunity for experience and understanding. So letting go of control is going to allow you to live with excitement. Life is to be enjoyed. And every morning you get up, you should be excited about living. You should be excited about, doing something, to make this thing a beautiful thing. I'm not going to waste any time being angry at someone. I'm not going to waste any time holding a grudge with anyone. If there's somebody that doesn't like me, I'm not going to spend my time worrying about them not liking me. I'm not going to spend my time around people that don't have the same mindset as I do. Now, when I say that, they don't have to be like me. I'm saying with the same type of attitude. And when you start really developing and really knowing who you are, and you start raising your vibration and frequency at the level of love and joy, you have an attitude of being happy, and you forgiving people, and you move in a way that you're grateful for everything that you have, and that raises your vibration. And what it does is you will draw people exactly like that into your space. There will be other people that will come around just wanting to be nosy. They'll come around just wanting to, vampire energy vampires. They'll come around. You got those. But the thing about it is, as you expand, you gain the wisdom and the knowledge on how to avoid the energy vampires. You gain the wisdom and the knowledge of how to avoid people, places, and things that will put your vibration at a lower frequency, that you won't vibrate at a lower frequency. You just won't. You'll be on the upside. And things happen in your life. They're going to happen. And sometimes they will make you sad. I'm not saying that you won't, be hit hard with something that will sadden you. But at the same time, you can really, well, I'm going to tell you, my cousin Marshall passed away last year, and we were really close. We were real close. He was the big brother I never had. I mean, he was my big brother. We were close. And when he passed away, it was very quick. It was very fast. He got sick, had to rush into the hospital. He was on hospice, and the next few days he was gone. It was just that fast. But it didn't hit me. I didn't cry. I missed him, but I didn't cry. But I know that he's with me right now. And I know that he lived the life that he wanted to live, the way he wanted to do it. And now all I have is smiles. I smile when I think of him. I don't be sad. Now, when my partner Kelvin passed away, this was in 2013. It was different for me because I boo-hooed a lot. I cried. I didn't understand and know the things that I know now. It was different. But I've learned that that's just a transition. And sometimes it was for selfish reasons that the tears were shed. Kelvin did his thing while he was on this planet. It was his time to move on to another place. And that's just the way it is. And while you're here, you have to find the passion for the gift that you have been given while you're here. You have a gift. Most people walk around in fear because They just simply don't know their gift. They don't know what it is that they're to do while they're here. Well, your gift is something that you can do that nobody else in the world can do. Only you can do it. And I guarantee you, there's something that you can do that only you can do, that nobody else can do. Well, what are you saying? I don't care if it seems like you're doing the same thing. They can't do it like you. They can't do it like you. And so once you allow yourself to see what it is that you do that's unique and that you have a passion for, allow yourself to immerse yourself into that gift and just go for it. Just allow yourself to just whatever it is. If it's selling chili beans, sell chili beans. You probably make the best chili beans on the planet and sell them. Start selling them. Start telling people you got them for sale. Start right now, because we're living in the computer age, the new age. Things that took 20 years to do now only take 6 months. Literally, because we have computers, because we have AI. And many of you don't run away from the AI. It's coming whether we like it or not. But allow yourself to grasp onto the gift that you have. You have a gift. You're worthy. You're valuable. You have something that you can do, something you've been talking about to yourself, that you've been contemplating. Move on it, execute, go for it, and start now. And I guarantee you, if you put one foot in front of the other, write it down, say what it is, the fear will be released when you move in forward. The fear that you have, it always leaves you when you start pursuing your gift. When you start pursuing your gift and you do it, and don't worry about anybody else's opinion. Let go of the control. Don't worry about that. You can write down a plan. Yeah, that's fine. But the way this thing is, especially when it's something that you go for, when you're excited about it, and when you're passionate about it, you don't worry about. You're having so much fun that you lose the control, but you're in control. You're in control of the joy that you have. You're having such a great time, at what you're doing. That's what you should go for. Many people have worked jobs for years, hating what they do, not allowing themselves to do what they've been gifted to do. And that's when you live a life of misery and you live a life of fear. Because I guarantee you, your gift will make room for you. Your gift will allow you to make the money that you never could even imagine. But you just got to go for it. And just do it, even if you have a job. I'm not saying quit your job. I'm saying work a job while you can, but make plans with the gift that you have. Save money for seeding your gift if you need to save money for it. Put money away and start working towards your gift, and you start feeling better and better. Associate yourself with people that do the same thing. Allow yourself to learn as much as you can about what it is that you're striving to do, how to market it, how to promote it, how to make money from it. Allow yourself to be around those kind of people. And don't be afraid of the opinions of others. Don't allow them to shake you up and change you and take you off course. But stay excited about it. Let go of the control. Some things, they're not. But see, when you align with the divine, and when you accept life's unpredictability, we free ourselves from the anxiety that circumstances bring. We free ourselves from the anxiety that the circumstances bring. Because life is unpredictable. And things do happen and come up that we don't expect. But that's when we allow ourselves to trust into the divine, to know that we know that we know that at the end of all the unpredictable circumstances that come up, that we are going to be just fine. And that's what you got to know. Surrender is not passive, but it's active. It's a choice to release worry and instead focus on our actions and attitudes with faith that the divine has a perfect plan for us. There's a perfect plan for you. There's something right there waiting for you that's going to fit. It's a plan there that's going to work for you perfectly. Something, and can't nobody get it but you. There's something out there in the quantum field that's for you. And if you can keep the excitement and be thankful about everything that you have, it's important that you're thankful for everything that you have right now. And be thankful ahead of time for what you're going to get later. Have that type of attitude. The attitude of gratitude is very important, to be thankful for everything, right? And you move with excitement and ease and allow your life to be a life that shows love to people. You know, be nice to people. Be nice to yourself. Start with yourself. Start eating healthy. Start, working out, stretching your body. Do it at home if you have to. You don't have to do it, at the gym. Walk around the block a few times. Start allowing yourself to do things to show yourself that you love yourself. And then let that love for yourself spread out to other people. Compassion, random acts of service, giving to somebody and not saying a word. I'm a giver. That's what I do. I say that I'm a giver because that's what I am. I do that, and I have no problem with it. Those types of things prepare you to become what you desire to become. You have to allow yourself to be what it is that you want to become before you become that what you want to be. Literally from the inside out. From the inside out. From your mind, your mindset, your mind, your thinking has to be, regenerated. Your mindset has to be different. You have to already see it complete. But don't worry about the outcome, the how. Don't worry about the how. Just be who you are at the very core of your being. Find out who you are at the very core of your being by going through these challenges and by going through the things these difficulties and frustrations and problems and perplexities. They don't last long. They never last long. They never last long. But we make them long by complaining and worrying and fighting instead of allowing it to just happen and let us and thinking about what it is that's going to be good for us through this circumstance. Take a breath, breathe in, breathe out. Now, why is this happening to me right now? What is it that I need to extract from this difficult time in my life that's going to make me better, that's going to make me stronger, that I need for my soul, from my soul's journey? Because you got to understand this. Once you understand this part, that you are indestructible, eternal, infinite being, having a temporary human experience. That's who you are. Now you have to allow yourself to really let that sink in. Sink in, let it soak in, let receive that. Because once you understand that you are that powerful, energy does not die. Stop worrying about dying and start executing life and go for the things that you like to do. Live life, enjoy your life. And you don't need nobody like that to enjoy life. You can enjoy life by yourself. You can you know, some of the most fun thing that you can do is alone. You know, you can do things that you can do things that by yourself. You know that you can have an enjoyable time. Hug a tree, walk around on the grass barefooted. Those are things because you are an electromagnetic being. Okay, it's sad because we're pumped a steady diet of fear through the news, through our dialogue with each other. It's a steady diet of fear. I walk around with no fear. I fear nothing. I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of a hell. I don't believe in that. It's just I don't because if you emanate from the ultimate expression of love, the ultimate expression of love, there is no judgment. There is no judgment in the ultimate expression of love. So how is you going to be judged for what you do or what you do? This is a learning experience. Earth is a school. You were sent here to learn, to expand, for your soul's expansion. That's why you're here. That's why you're here on this planet, to expand, to manifest the things that you desire, to become all that you can be, to know who you really truly are at the level of your being. And there are things that you have inside, things that you have. You've been talking about it. You've been dreaming about it, but you just haven't been able to come out with it. You haven't said anything about it. You're afraid to talk about it because you're not quite sure it's going to work out. But that's not the truth. It will work out. It will happen. But you have to make a move on it. You have to step forward. Allow yourself to muster up the courage to move forward on that dream, on that talent that you have. You are talented. You are powerful. You are beautiful. You are special. You are whole. You are complete. You are love. That's who you are. You are kind. That's who you are. And anytime you act otherwise, you're not acting who in a manner that of who you truly are at the level of your being. That's the difference. Anytime you go outside of that, that's your ego. That's fear. That's why people, they get together and get in relationships and they can't, because the love was conditional. It was conditioned. It was conditioned. But once you get into a situation where you know and learn how to love unconditionally, that's when you become powerful. And you can love people unconditionally and not be in their world like that. You can love them unconditionally from afar, and they won't affect your life. See, there are thousands and thousands of parallel universes existing simultaneously at the same time right now. Wrap your head around that. And if you can wrap your head around this, there are different parallel versions of you in those parallel universes. You have to decide what version of yourself that you want to become. Pick one. There's a version of you that never smoked cigarettes. There's a version of you that never done drugs. There's a version of you that went to the gym all the time, that worked out, that has a nice body. There's a version of you that's a singer. There's a version of you that's an athlete. There's a version of you. Just pick one, and when you pick one, just start becoming what you desire to become. And what happens is incrementally you change yourself. Incrementally. And when you change yourself, the world around you, it changes. It changes to fit the vibration that the frequency vibration that you're on. It changes. I know for a fact because my circle has changed, because I've changed. I become something different, and you become something different all the time. You're constantly changing. You're not the same person you used to be. No, you're not. Recognizing your eternal nature. At its core, fear is rooted in the belief that we can lose something, all right? Our lives, loved ones, security, or status. Spiritual teaching reminds us that we are eternal beings. Far more than our physical bodies or material possessions, when we understand that our essence is indestructible, our essence is indestructible, our essence is indestructible, fear diminishes. I just got through saying that. Your essence is indestructible. You are an indestructible, eternal, infinite being having a temporary human experience. And I just believe that, because time is an illusion. There is no such thing as the future. There is no such thing as the past. All we have is the eternal now. Right now, that's all you have. That's why it's so important about being present, staying in the moment. Because when you stay in the moment, you can control right now. You can choose to be happy right now. You can choose to be angry right now. You can choose to suffer right now. You can choose to not suffer right now. Even if you're in pain, you can tell yourself, speak to your body. You are the God of the universe of your body. Speak to your body. Speak to your cells. Speak to your bones. Speak to your heart. Speak to your liver. Speak to your kidneys. Speak to them, and it will listen. Your body will listen to you. Stop saying certain things that you say about your body. I'm tired. I'm old. My back hurts. Stop saying that, because life and death is in the power of the tongue. You have to be ready. You have to understand that some things that you say them unconsciously, but your subconscious mind, it knows. It does not know what's real and not real. And your subconscious mind absorbs it. And your subconscious mind is what creates your reality. Your subconscious mind is what keeps you breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Your subconscious mind is what allows your heart to beat without you concentrating on it beating. Your subconscious mind is powerful. So start speaking life into your circumstances, into your situation. Start speaking life into other people's circumstances and situations. And you'll watch how much you expand. You become expansive, because everything that comes out of your mouth is life, not death. And you look at your perception on life changes, because you're not looking at, if you see somebody doing good, praise them for it. Be happy for them. Don't wait, he got that. Why I ain't? No, that's a mentality of lack. A mentality of lack. This is abundance. I got this from Bashar. And he said, abundance, true abundance, is doing what you got to do when you got to do it. I'm abundant. I'll tell you, I'm abundant, because I can do everything that I got to do when I got to do it. That's just abundant. Because when you limit it to when it becomes the money or possessions, you limit yourself to what the universe can bring to you. Because favor is abundant. A phone call, the right phone call, is abundant. Unexpected phone calls, unexpected money, from unexpected places, from unexpected people, unexpected sources. That's abundant. And you allow yourself to use your imagination. That's one of the things that we are taught not to use. You just imagine things. Yes, I am. Imagine. Allow your imagination to soar. We had it when we were kids. Then We were taught to not use our imagination, not use our intention, because that's not real. But your imagination and your imagination and your uh your imagination is important for you. I lost my thought for a minute. Your imagination is important for you to have to create. That's what, imagination is important to create. That's the way you create things, is to imagine. As children, you watch children play. They have a very huge imagination. They pretend, imagine. Use your imagination. And then when you use your imagination, write it down. And those imaginations, they can become a reality in your life. Literally, they can become a reality in your life. Everything that you see in front of you that's created started off with somebody's imagination. That computer you're looking at, that phone you have, those shoes you're wearing, that jacket you have, that car you're driving, that started off with somebody's imagination. Why should I stop using my imagination to create things that I want to manifest in my life? Use your imagination to manifest the things that you truly desire in your life. Don't let nobody tell you you're crazy. Allow them, that's fine. You're going to be crazy to people. They're going to think you're out of your mind. But allow yourself to be out of your mind and imagine the things that you truly desire in this world. Allow yourself to imagine those things. Allow yourself to get the things that you want, out of this world, because that's what you can do. We were born to be creators. We came here to create the things that we desire, the things that we want, to make our life a life of wholeness and complete, for our soul's expansion. That's why we're here. We're here to create and to share and to be who we are at the very level of our being, and to promote love and consciousness. If you gotta understand what we're going through now in the world. If you're not, it's shifting. There's a shift in the paradigm. There's a new earth and an old earth. And what's happening is you can see everything is getting shook up. It's getting shook up. Things are being exposed that never were ever exposed before. They're getting exposed. They're getting exposed. The veil is coming off of things that were once hidden. They're finding out things that they never knew. Some people have been trying to hide things for years that are now, in front of everybody, and everybody knows that they're happening. And so, and that was all to keep everybody scared. Because if you keep people afraid, you can control them. If that's like an abusive husband or abusive wife. Keep them afraid, they can control you. And at its core, fear is rooted in the belief that we can lose something: our lives, loved ones, security, or status. But like I said, spiritual teachings remind us that we are eternal beings. And then when you know that, it does something to you, man. I mean, literally, this is a short run. Enjoy it. It's not going to hurt. We don't have to have any fear. I believe that at the moment that we leave this planet, we're greeted by people, our family members that have gone on before us, and family members that we didn't know. They're there waiting for us. You woke up from the dream. You woke up from the dream, because this is what it is. But this thing we call reality, this thing we call life, we're here for a purpose, and that is to expand. I'm going to read one more point, and then we're going to wrap it. I think I got a few more steps. Being present in the moment. Okay. Fear often stems from dwelling in the past or worrying about the future. From a spiritual standpoint, living fearlessly means fully inhabiting the present moment where God's presence is most accessible. Practicing mindfulness or prayer helps ground us in the now, where fear cannot exist because we're focused on what is and not what might be. That's why it's so important to stay in the moment. Stop worrying about what happened, last year or yesterday, and stop worrying about what will happen. You don't have no control over that. But what you do have a control over is right now. Allow your mind to simmer down and be calm. And think about just knowing that you are safe, knowing that you are protected, knowing that you're not alone, that you're not by yourself, knowing that, that you're living your best life. Allow yourself to live your best life in the moment. Stop thinking about what you don't have and think about all the things that you do have and be thankful for the things that you do have right now. Don't worry about what's not there, because that's the mentality of lack. And when you have a mentality of lack, all you're going to get is lack, nothing. Leave the house wanting or needing anything. I leave the house wanting or needing anything. I walk and I live an abundant lifestyle. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I'm thankful for everything that I have. I'm thankful for the people that are in my life. I'm thankful to be able to get up in the morning, wash my face, brush my teeth, I'm thankful for being able to drive a car. And if the man doesn't have a car, he should be thankful that he can walk, that he has the activity of his limbs. There's always something that you can be thankful for, no matter what situation or circumstances that you are in. Be thankful and watch how it raise your vibration and be excited about life. Don't be sad. Be excited about life, because life is something to be excited about. Make it an adventure. Make it a joy to wake up every day and hit the mule. Be a joy around the people that you work with. Stop carrying grudges about somebody that don't like you on the job and you don't like them. Your boss or your co-worker, you can't stand them because they said something to you. Stop that. Change that. Leave it alone. Go there to make your money. Go there to work. But find a way to make it joyful and make it to experience something worth doing. That may not be your last job. You might have another job. You might be looking for something else. But allow your time there, knowing that it was important for you to be there for that moment. And while you're there, be joyful, be happy. Don't let nothing steal your joy. Don't let nothing be happy and mad at the same time. Good morning, I hate my job. And that's not the way to be. Love what you do and do what you love. Back to what I said at the earlier part. Find out your gift. Find out your gift. Take time out. Meditation, 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 prayer, meditation, time alone. Search yourself, dig in deep, find out who you are. And I guarantee you, you will find the answer, because you'll find your gift in that answer. And you probably already know your gift. You probably already know your gift. You got the gift. You just haven't had the courage to step out on it. I urge you, I invite you to step out on that gift that you have and just allow it to flourish. You got a book that you need to write. Start writing that book and then get it published. Write a little bit every day. Say that I'm going to write 15 minutes a day on my book and write it. You might have a project, that you want to do. Do it. Start. And watch how good you feel and how accomplished you feel. You'll feel like life when you start doing the things that you know you're supposed to do, that, when I do this show, I feel, I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be doing this. We're not, where we want to be like that, but I feel good about doing it because I know that this is a part of what I'm supposed to do in this thing we call life. I know that. And so, and anybody, I've said this before, start a podcast, do something, anything. You might be sitting here, you know what, I can do that. Yes, you can. You can. Go for it. If you need any help, I'll help you. I'll give you everything I know. You hit me on my inbox, hit me on my wall. Do it, and you'll feel better about this thing we call life, and you won't have any fear. You'll become fearless when you move through the difficulty, when you move through the oppression. You can't be pressed because it can only hold you so long, and it won't hold you because your determination. You're determined to do what you know that you do, and you really don't feel it. Things that come up, but you don't feel it. Because you're so excited about what you're doing, nothing bothers you. That's the way I was when I first started writing. Nothing bothered me. I mean, I had some things, but the excitement and the passion it overtook everything else. And so that's my challenge to you. That's my offer to you. Do that. Wake up with joy. Say your affirmations. I am one with the infinite mind of God, and the abundance of the universe flows freely to me. I release every thought of lack or limitation, and I affirm that I'm whole, perfect, and complete. I'm a unique expression of the infinite, and everything that I need for my success is within me. I say that every morning. And once you say these affirmations, find them, write them down, say something to yourself, speak to yourself in the mirror, say these things. Ain't nobody around. It's just you versus you. You compete with no one. I compete with no one. It's me versus me. And I try to bring a best version of myself I can each and every single day. And that's what you do. Bring the best version of yourself each and every day. You don't have to tell nobody. Just say, I'm going to be better than I was yesterday. I'm going to be better than I was the day before. I'm going to be better the day that I was yesterday. And you'll see things change. Start habits. A habit is when the body becomes the mind. Start small. I'm going to do this. I'm going to work out a little bit today. Do this. And then I'm going to work out a little bit more. Do little bit by bit so that your mind will be able to train your body into what you want your body to do. And watch the confidence come. And this is with anything, writing, reading. There's a book that you need to read that's been sitting in the read. Educate yourself. Take time. Stop watching so much TV and all this fear-based stuff that they're shooting at us. They're giving it to us. Eat more plants. The meat and stuff that weighs us down. We need something lighter in our body so that it can easily digest and our bodies can function better. I'm not telling you to stop eating meat. I'm saying stop eating so much meat. I know some people, they might say, you want us to turn vegetarian. No, I'm not saying that. But I mean, it's an idea, but a lot of times we do eat a lot of meat. And sometimes a lot of meat is not good for the body. So, fruits and vegetables, try that. You don't have to turn, to a vegetarian, but, fruits and vegetables. Be conscious of what you put into your body. That's important. And, that's pretty much all I have to say. I went a little bit over the time, but I want to thank you all for, being with me this long. I didn't pay attention to the time. I was just going. And I want to thank Stephanie for being here with me. Anita, that's my girl. That's my sister. You know, I love her to the bitter end. And we're gonna see you next week. And we're gonna do it. So on behalf of myself and Miss Stephanie Beard, take care. Peace and blessing to you all. And always remember, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that me, USB, I truly do love you, my friends. Take care, and we're out of here. Bye-bye.